You could continue to white knuckle and grind your way through your book with little to no concern whether the way that you're operating is feeding and energizing you or zapping your body and spirit. You could do that, but where is the self-compassion injected into your process? Not self-pity, getting caught up in feeling sorry for yourself in some self-absorbed way. Not self-gratification where you're infantilizing yourself, making unhealthy excuses, period, to try to escape or deflect from what's challenging you. This is the second video in the series sharing sources, exercises, and reflections from the first iteration of our self-guided journal for writers, while I work on the second iteration that's to be released in the spring of next year. Writing your book isn't likely to be easy, but going about it in a way where what once felt like purpose turned into self-punishment, it mistakes intentional sacrifice for martyrdom. And you deserve to enjoy the process as much as you reasonably can without feeling like you're carrying a cross all the time. Even in a busy life, you want to be thoughtful and detailed about setting the conditions for flow in your writing routine, accepting the challenges, of course, but not constantly feeling like you're pushing the boulder uphill. When I first started putting together the first iteration of the Self-Care Journal for Writers, I had just finished rereading Creativity by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, the author of a more well-known book, Flow. But in Creativity, he explores the psychology of discovery and invention and the creative personality. And there's 2 chapters in here that outlines common conditions for flow, including how surroundings play a part, and 9 main elements of an enjoyable experience, which is really what reaching a state of flow enables and is the ideal experience, as opposed to suffering through every stage of writing your book as if that's what's supposed to happen, or as if that's what's best for you or your readers. One of the 9 elements is that there's a balance between challenges and skills. He uses an example, says that playing tennis or chess against a much better opponent leads to frustration, against a much weaker opponent to boredom. In a really enjoyable game, the players are balanced on a fine line between boredom and anxiety. And the same is true when work, a conversation, or a relationship is going well. And you might ask, like, what does this have to do with compassion? What does balance have to do with this compassion? And well, if you know you're having a hard time making a character or multiple characters feel 3D, or that the setting of your story doesn't engulf a reader, instead of just powering through with continued dissatisfaction or draining your creative stores, self-compassion enables you to respond by building a skill, by maybe reading a book or 2, taking a workshop, watching a lecture, or something else to help you, because compassion meets you where you are. And we're compassionate, we humanize others and recognize them and the humanity in them. And with self-compassion, we humanize ourselves, accepting what we might lack and address it in the more enriching, regenerative way. Another book that I borrowed from, A Fearless Heart, a book on compassion studies by Thupten Jinpa. He's a professor and former student of Dalai Lama. He writes that compassion is an empowered state of empathy, so it's more than just a feeling. Empowerment is for action, production, and movement. And by neglecting or denying that you have skills to obtain or perspectives to approach your writing from, it immobilizes you or paralyzes your writing self, puts a hold on your production. But also end up rejecting that empowerment is necessary for direction and growth. It's one of the subtle ways that we dehumanize ourselves. So again, self-compassion in your writing practice may not be pampering or rewarding yourself with something. It might mean actual work. The Self-Care Journal goes on to explore other ideas about self-compassion in a way that pertains to other things like your approach to time management, distractions, goal setting, and asking reflective, introspective questions for each stage of writing, editing, and publishing, with the hope that when you finish, you've run through the tape or stick the landing with a smile even after all the hard work and sweat.